Have you ever noticed something slightly uncomfortable? People rarely say it out loud, but many earn more today than they did 5 or 10 years ago, and yet the stress around money hasn't really gone away. The numbers on the paycheck are higher, the lifestyle looks better, but the anxiety feels familiar? The question isn't why people struggle when income is low. That part is obvious. The real question is why financial pressure often survives income growth and sometimes even grows with it. This isn't about bad decisions or lack of discipline. It's about how modern financial life quietly reshapes expectations, behavior, and identity. Let's talk about that. Imagine a fairly normal situation. You're in your late 20s or 30s, living in the US, the UK, or somewhere in Western Europe. You've done what you were supposed to do. You studied. You found stable work. Your income grew over time. Maybe you earn around $70,000 a year in the US, or Young in Germany, or 45,000 pounds in the UK. On paper, that's a good income. But after taxes, things look different. In the US, after federal, state, social security, and healthcare deductions, that $70,000 might turn into roughly $4,200 a month. In much of Europe, taxes and social contributions reduce take-home pay even more aggressively. Now let's layer in real life. Rent or a mortgage comes first. A modest apartment in a decent area might cost $1,600 to $2,000 a month. In cities like London, Amsterdam, or Paris, it can be even higher. Then there's transportation. A car payment of $400. Insurance, fuel, maintenance, another $200 to $300. Student loans or education debt still exists for many, even into their 30s. Credit card balances don't always disappear, they just rotate. Groceries are more expensive than they were a few years ago. Subscriptions quietly stack up. Phones, streaming, cloud storage, gym memberships. None of this feels extravagant. It feels normal. And yet, by the end of the month, there's very little left. Sometimes nothing. The strange part is this. When income was lower, you imagine that this level would feel safe. But it doesn't. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Financial stress doesn't disappear with income because income isn't the system people are trapped in. Lifestyle is. As income grows, expectations quietly rise with it. Not because people are greedy, but because social norms shift. When you earned less, sharing an apartment felt acceptable. Now, living alone feels reasonable. A used car once felt fine. Now, reliability and comfort justify a monthly payment. Vacations upgrade from local trips to flights. Clothes upgrade from practical to presentable. Food upgrades from cooking to convenience. Each individual choice makes sense. Together, they recreate financial pressure at a higher level. This is not lifestyle inflation in the way people usually talk about it. It's not reckless spending. It's identity inflation. Your lifestyle adjusts to match the person you believe you've become. Let's slow down and look at the math. Suppose your income increases by $1,000 a month after tax. You move to a slightly better apartment plus $400. You upgrade your car plus $250. You spend a bit more on food, convenience, and social life plus $200. Subscriptions and small comforts plus $100. That extra $1,000 is now almost gone. Nothing here feels irresponsible, but nothing here reduces stress either because the core structure didn't change. You still rely entirely on your next paycheck. And psychologically, that's where stress lives. The deeper issue isn't spending, it's dependency. When all of your lifestyle is supported by active income, your nervous system never fully relaxes. If something breaks, if work becomes unstable, if health interferes, if inflation rises again, there's no margin. This is why people with higher incomes often feel more pressure, not less. There's more to maintain, more to protect, more to lose. Financial stress becomes keener but heavier. Now, let's talk about the psychological reason this happens. Human beings adapt extremely quickly to improved conditions. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. What once felt like success quickly becomes normal. And once something is normal, losing it feels like failure, even if you once lived without it. So instead of income growth creating relief, it creates new baselines. Your mind stops asking, can I afford this? And starts asking, is this reasonable for someone like me? That shift is subtle, but powerful. Because reasonable is defined socially, not financially. Another factor people underestimate is visibility. In earlier generations, you only compared yourself to people nearby. Now, you're exposed to curated lifestyles every day. Colleagues, friends, influencers, professionals in your field. You don't feel pressured to be rich. You feel pressure to be normal. But normal has quietly become expensive. And because everyone around you is doing the same thing, it doesn't look risky. It looks responsible. Here's where the long-term impact shows up. If this pattern continues for 10 or 15 years, income growth never translates into stability. It just raises the stakes. People reach their 40s earning more than ever, yet retirement savings feel behind, emergency funds are thin, job changes feel dangerous instead of empowering. Not because they failed, but because the system never allowed slack. And without slack, money always feels urgent. Now let's shift perspective. Financially intelligent people aren't immune to lifestyle pressure. They just interpret income growth differently. When their income rises, they don't ask, "What can I now afford?" They ask, "What pressure can I now remove?" They use raises to reduce dependency, not increase appearance. That might mean staying in the same apartment longer, keeping a car after it's paid off, letting income grow faster than lifestyle. Not forever, just long enough for margin to form. And margin is what kills financial stress, not income. This way of thinking isn't dramatic or inspiring. It's quiet. It doesn't look impressive on social media. It doesn't signal success outwardly. But internally, it changes everything. Because when a few months of expenses are covered without effort, decisions feel different. When savings grow without constant attention, work feels optional, not mandatory. When lifestyle doesn't fully consume income, stress has nowhere to live. The mistake most people make is believing that relief comes after lifestyle upgrades. In reality, relief comes before. Before the bigger apartment, before the newer car, before the next level of normal. Not by denying yourself forever, but by understanding what actually reduces pressure and what doesn't. So, if financial stress hasn't disappeared as your income grew, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you followed the script society quietly hands out. Awareness is simply seeing the script for what it is. And once you see it, you can choose how closely you want to follow it. That's all for today. If this perspective helped you think more clearly about money and stress, you can subscribe to the channel. More conversations like this are coming.